Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show. My name is Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. What is Slay to Success? Slay to Success supports women professionals and organizations to achieve success by working with them on their image and their impact by focusing on ABCDs. That's right, appearance, behaviors, communications, and digital presence. And what does slay mean? Slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, and to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym. It stands for Universal Life and Leadership Philosophies that resonate with me the most, which are staying ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, a sense of family, and you are built to last. So if you are here with me this morning, first of all, I want to say thank you for being here because you could be anywhere else and you decided to be here live with me. So Leslie, thank you for being here. Grand rising to you as well. I hope you're feeling well and doing well. And this is a great morning, y'all. It's just a great morning. So all kinds of things have already happened for me this morning. As you all know, I wake up and the first thing that I do is go downstairs and work out. So today's workout was a 45-minute walk plus run. There was like interval running plus some lifting of weights because I am 51 years old. And as we mature and we season, we've got to make sure that we are building strong muscles and that we are able to move. Mobility is huge now for me, more so than anything. And so, yes, thank you. I appreciate that. I love this top too. It is definitely indicative of my brand. And so this morning, y'all, we gonna go right on in. Okay. So again, if you drop on in and you're wanting to be part of this conversation, as I would love you to do that, go ahead and put your name and where you're streaming in from. So that way I can give you a proper shout out and we can just dive on into this conversation this morning because I'm ready. Okay. I am ready to have this conversation. Tuesday, normally is when I have this show, but because our son is at basketball camp, I had to take him on Tuesday. And so I was like, you know what? We'll just come back here on Thursday. It's no big deal. All right. Because I'm still going to be very consistent on the show. And it's still in the week. So, yes. And Leslie is tuning in from Florida, which I know it is hot. It's all get out because it is hot here. I've been waiting to do my evening workouts or my walks at about 8 o'clock now because it is so hot and humid out here. So, it's all good. I'd rather be warm than be cold. So today's discussion is truly about what you're doing. Okay. What is it that you're doing? Because in my mind, as I am navigating in my next chapter, okay, so all of you who are here who have been with me for some time know that I served in the United States Air Force for 30 years. And I'm also an image consultant, got my certification, got my master's of science degree in strategic leadership. And I'm a personal brand expert, and I am a publisher of 3 books, if you will. So I have the one here, which is my first book, Slay to Success, and I have 2 other books. And where are they? They're right here. 2 other books here. This one is specifically for women. It's talking about personal branding strategies after the age of 40. And this one is for anyone. I take this into organizations and we go through this. It's about elevating your image. And there's a lot of tips and tricks in here that has been useful for me as I have transitioned. And so knowing all this, I come with a lot. I am a lot. All right. But I know that we're going to talk about what, happens when our words and our actions and the way we talk, how these all line up and be a part of our personal brand. So these are all the things that people have perceptions about you. All right. And your personal brand, which we're going to be talking about, that's what the Rise and Slay show is about, is your personal brand. It's either being built up or it's being torn down by the decisions that we make every single day. So just remember, everything counts. Okay. As you are navigating through your personal brand, just understand that people are watching. They're taking notes. They're seeing whether or not you're consistent. They're seeing if you are the same as you are in face-to-face interactions or as you are in your digital presence, all right, social media platforms. And so I understood that I was building a personal brand when I was still in the military. And it was about 5 to 7 years before I retired I started to use the word slay as the starting point to how people would be able to get to know me more better and see the vision and how I thought about things. And as I started to doing that, people were like, "Oh my goodness, we love this. You know, it's easy to understand. We know what you're doing. We know what to expect of you." And so I understand that it's a journey and it has been evolving over the years. I did not start out, and again, I am the CEO and founder of Slay to Success. And so I launched this business, not even understanding what I was doing, but I knew I had a dream and the way that I wanted to move. All right. And so now I am elevating my brand in so many different ways. It's got so many legs. And I am truly thinking about intentionality. I am very intentional with my time, like who I'm spending it with, what I'm spending it on. I am intentional on what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. I'm intentional about a lot of different things. But this morning, good morning, Dee. Hey, what's happening? Thank you for joining us. I miss you. I'm so glad that you're here to be part of the conversation. So please, as you hear something, go ahead and drop it into the comments, Queen, okay? Because this is going to be a full conversation this morning. So we're going to talk about how everything counts, all right? And how we should never give up on what we know we are supposed to be doing. And that involves really, truly, to your core, understanding your personal brand. And I know that people have words when they hear me or they see me or they think about me, there are specific words on how. And I only know this because of what people have said to me, y'all. And so I'm going to share with you um, how people perceive me. Okay. Now, whether or not these are all true, these are the things that people say. They say I am big energy. All right, I have a lot of energy. And yes, I do. All right. I work out intensely in the morning and then I have enough in me to do a nightly walk. This occurs at least 6 to 7 times a week. I do work out every day, not as hard as, intensely every day, but I have big energy. And they also say I'm intense. All right. Because when I go for something, I'm very passionate about it. I put all of my effort into it. And so I know that's a thing. All right. I am a fighter. All right. And the reason why, because I had to fight a lot when I was in military service, not only from a mental aspect, all right, but I had to fight through a lot of barriers, systemic barriers that they have in the military still. People who resisted me because of what I look like. But I am a fighter. I know about 3 or 4 times where I wanted to quit early. Hey, Terry, what's going on? Yes, I got a lot of energy. Okay. Terry is also part of the Peloton crew, if you will, and he sees me. He knows me. Look, I give it, okay? Because I am 51 years old, y'all. I understand now more so than ever that when I go out and do something, not only am I practicing what I preach, but I'm preaching what I'm practicing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you see me, people always kind of go, there's something different. There's something that we've noticed. And all it is because I take the time first thing in the morning to take care of me. I did not do a lot of that. Well, I'll take that back. I started to do that probably like a little bit more than halfway in my career as to, okay, Rochelle, you need to stay on top of your weight because you're getting weighed in a lot because they had standards and all this other stuff. But I didn't see it truly as helping me with my energy. I just thought it was survivable mode for me. I needed to pass my weight. Okay. And so now I'm like, this energy, this drive that I have for so many things, it is fueling me to get to the next level, to be the best version of myself, not anyone else's measuring stick. I don't really particularly care how people want me to move. I am moving and marching to my own beat. It really is, about how I want to get through this next chapter. And so I know that I am very determined. All right. I, like I said, was going to quit my career. And it wasn't quitting. I could retire at these points. It was after 20 years. And after 20 years of anything, it doesn't matter if it's military service or not, it starts to get to be bit much. And I remember at my 23-year, 24-year of service that, I had a supervisor who was trying to treat me as if I would have just joined the military. And I'm like, look, I don't got time for all this. All right. And it was because they saw that I was pushing and challenging the status quo. I did not particularly care for the way that things were moving, and they didn't want me to push and move ahead of them. And I was like, well, this right here, I don't want to be doing this. And then I got called out, and it was a whole thing. So I know for me, I'm a little bit sensitive. Okay. I'm a little bit sensitive. Even though you can see the strong exterior, I get a little bit sensitive about who I am and or what people say. I do. Okay. People say that I am their inspiration a lot, that I inspire them either through getting through 30 years of service or through launching my business from scratch. There's a lot of veterans or aspiring entrepreneurs who see me, and they see me well ahead, and I'm like, y'all, all I'm trying to do is get my message across because I am a talker. I know that. I identify as that. I like to be on stage. I don't have a problem with it at all. I don't shy away from it. I just go right into it. So it's a lot because when I was a young girl, y'all, thanks, Dee. When I was a young girl, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I had very low self-esteem. I was overweight. People used me. I was the blunt of their jokes. I didn't see myself for being successful at too many things. I took a lot of direction from my dad. And so I thought that way was the only way. I really didn't think outside the box. I was just told what to do and I used to just do it. Then you go into the military and it's kind of the same thing. You're told what to do and you just do it. And so I didn't really start to think outside of that until much later. I think I was in like my 30s and my 40s, actually, that I was like, you know what? I have my own thoughts. I have my own opinions. All right. And I want to be able to express them in my own way. And so I know that for me, I inspire a lot of people to do that, to come out of their shells, to give them the confidence that they want, that they need, that they want to show up a lot more bolder. I am that bold type of woman. Um, and sometimes again, I get ahead of myself, and I feel like, wow, I am just out here. I'm out here, but I am standing for a lot of different things. And so I'm resilient. Okay. Again, I have been put in situations where I didn't know whether or not I was going to make it through, and making it through was like a life or death situation. And so now I see as these challenges that I have as an entrepreneur, as a transition veteran, as a mother, as a wife, that I just need to just keep moving and keep going and pushing myself to get through some of these things. And I do that because my mindset, I have shifted. I have a very positive mindset. A lot again has to do with my dad, who had a positive mindset too. And so I have taken that on and really thought about life. I'm a really deep thinker. Um, I write a lot of things down. I have 1,001 notes. If you could just see, like, I'm a little bit embarrassed, but I'm going to show you my sticky notes, y'all. Okay. These are, this is from a little notepad thing. And I went to a leadership development course, and this is their name of their business. And so I take these notes all day, every day, and then I rip them out. I put them, I stack them up, and then I go back and to refer to them, because there's stuff on here that is very important or not. I'm just that type of person. So when people see these stacks, and I knew when I was in the military, they saw these stacks, they're like, you need to get yourself organized in here. I'm like, I'm not a good organizer. I need help in here, But now I can see that I am a very deep thinker. Okay. I have thoughts that I just want to write them down. I don't want to forget about them. And then, later on, I'll go back and refer to them. I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to continue with that thought. And also, I'm a fashionista. Okay. Um, y'all, it's so much. So when I transitioned out of the military, y'all, I just kind of completely revamped my wardrobe. And yesterday I went and volunteered at Success in Style, and it's all these clothes. All right, they got clothes on top of clothes. People are donating clothes, and they're not like Goodwill, and they're not like a consignment shop, but they have quality pieces, and they're helping other men and women who need a little bit of extra help with their clothing and so forth. But anywho, so I'm in there and I'm like, ooh, all these clothes in here. I don't need any more clothes in my closet. I really don't. I have a lot going on, because I decided, hey, I'm going to flip this out, and I'm going to portray this energy that I really want people to recognize me for. And so I adopted the color pink. Pink is for empathy, enthusiasm, friendliness, soft. And so this color, hey Queen. Hey Queen, what's going on, Chevy? How's it going this morning? Thank you for being here with us live. And Leslie says, totally understand, no judgment. So Chevy, I just showed them like all my sticky notes. This is me, okay, all day. I write things down. I get a thought. I write it down. I take it out. And I'm like, what are we doing in here? But that's just who I am. That's how my brain operates. And so now we were talking about my wardrobe and how I have completely changed it around. And I'm very intentional about this pink, because I carry a lot of masculine energy for 30 years. All right. And it's hard to kind of break out of that without being very mindful of what you're doing. And so it's a reminder for me every day when I wear the color pink, soften it up. Don't go in there barking orders and giving people like all this, again, masculine energy, you've got to be able to connect to people. All right. And I'm unassuming. People don't know that I served in the military until I tell them. And I love it. Okay. Because then I get to bring out more of me, more of Rochelle. And so for years, I was called Sergeant so and so, which is Sergeant King, or when I got married, Sergeant Hemingway. Then I was always called Chief for the last, 7 years, 6 years of my career. And so sometimes I didn't even recognize when people would call me my first name. I'd be like, oh, that's me. Oh my God, like, hold on, that's me. And so now in this next chapter, I'm like, okay, the words that people are attaching to me about who I am, they say the pink lady. I'm well okay with that. So because how people perceive us in our personal brand can really play a pivotal role into our success. And I am seeing it daily. See it daily because of the opportunities that I have been given and I have received over the past couple of years have been remarkable. And my brand is basically a promise that makes me known for who I am. And I'm keeping true to what I say I am. So the brand always begins with your values, always with your values. And like I said, my personal values, okay, wrapped up in this slay, stay ready, be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, and you are built to last. But I also have the health and wellness. That is truly one of my priorities. Also, it's my, you know, integrity. All right. I love when people say, you're going to see what you get there. She doesn't like skirt around or anything like that. She's true to her word. And my family is most important to me, like my immediate family, my husband, our son, my mom. We all, we're in this together. And that's kind of how I see. And I was talking about generations, right? We affect generations upon generations based on what we're doing right now. I heard that we affect at least 7 generations, right? What we're doing right now, we can kind of point to what 7 generations going to look like. And so for me, I want to be known for that woman who took a chance on themselves and didn't lose regret. I don't want to say I didn't have a chance to do this. I'm going for it. Good morning, Sandra. How you doing? All right, y'all. So Sandra Gay, all right. Her husband used to be Sergeant Gay. He was the one who put me in the Air Force. He was the one that put me in the Air Force. And I can't believe it. I can't believe that I went in there, signed up, did 30 years. It's crazy. So thank you for joining us in the live today. And Leslie says, I love this point. Permitting high achievers to have masculine energy, but to be self-aware to bring in the feminine energy when necessary. Absolutely. And in this next chapter, I want to bring more feminine energy. I know that I can go to 0 to 60 in a minute and I go toe to toe, okay, with people, but I wanted to be able to meet people and understand where I kind of like to move, and I don't want to show up. I'm a woman, okay? I love every bit of me. Have to get back to work. Yeah, just want to pop in for a second. Absolutely. Be safe out there. Okay, so D is in law enforcement. So be safe, my queen, and I will see you soon. Okay, so those are like some of my top values. And you have to think about, what are your top values? And are your values in alignment with what you're saying, how you're acting, and all those things. Are they? Because if not, we got to find out, what we stand for, because our reputation matters. I don't care what people are saying. At the end of the day, your reputation matters. People can go and Google you nowadays. All right. That's why I always encourage people to go and Google themselves. Find out what people are saying about you. They don't have to contact you. They don't have to say, hey, let's get on a virtual call, or hey, let's meet for coffee chat. All they have to do is type your name into the Google search, and they get to know you through that. So if you're talking a lot of junk, then that's kind of what people will associate you with. And, we have a 14-year-old son, and a lot of times we talk about leadership, with him, because you can either be a follower or you could be a leader. Now, there are times when you need to be a follower. All right. So he's at basketball camp, and so he's following directions from the coach. He's getting, more skill set and shooting. This is the week that he's doing that. But when he is out and about and there are things that are happening around him that are not good, he needs to lead. Okay. He needs to step into that leadership role. And so, a lot of times we got to think about what we're doing and how we're doing it. Are you the leader of your personal brand? Okay. Because you want to make sure that you're in an alignment. So these are 8 laws of branding that I'm going to share with you. These are not particularly things that I've thought of. These have been out there. This is by a speaker known in the international space. His name is Brian Tracy. And so I was studying up on personal branding the other day, and I saw these and I was like, let me just share these with people. All right. Because I think that it's important, all right, for us to understand what some of the concepts of personal branding really is. I tell my 14-year-old son the same thing. Know when to follow and take the lead. Absolutely. It's so interesting to me. All right, because they're at the age, and our sons are at the same age. 14-year-old, they're really trying to figure out who they are. They're trying to, find out like friends and what friendship looks like. They may have, some feelings for a girl. Like these things start popping up, but this is when they're really feeling themselves, and other people around them are feeling themselves too. It's like, hey, when you see something bad going on, you don't want to stay around. You got to remove yourself from the situation. So, yeah, and that's one of the laws of personal branding, is the law of leadership. All right? And we have to be able to recognize and acknowledge as one of the most knowledgeable, respected people in our field. So whatever we're doing, however we're saying, hey, we are a leadership consultant, or I am a tech person, or I am in the building programs. Okay, whatever that is, you have to be known as one of the most knowledgeable, respected people in your field. And you need to be asking yourself, where do I want to be a leader in my field? Where do I want to be a leader in my field? And so, what that looks like for me is I'm in the personal branding space. All right. I want to be known as an expert. In fact, a lot of my hashtags, you will see personal brand expert. Why? Because I study it every single day. I've wrote 2 guidebooks about personal branding. You will see on every one of my posts as I'm stepping out, I talk about personal branding. And not only am I talking about it, I am the part of it. You know what I mean? So every action, every choice, and every word that I am speaking is about how you can show, if you will, with your own values and not take on anybody else's. This is all about you and how you want to be perceived. right? So I help women specifically. I have a workshop coming up, y'all, on Saturday that I have women that are going to be there. We're going to be talking about personal branding. We're doing a personal branding audit, like a mini audit. We're going to be talking about public speaking skills because, again, I do a lot of public speaking, not only in the virtual space, but in person. I do a lot of podcasts. I do a whole thing. There's a lot of speaking going on in my life. I have two talk shows. I talk show on whatchamacallit, on Sunday where I bring in a guest. So yeah, Leslie says, be the authority and the obvious choice, and people have you top of mind in your field. Absolutely. That's how the opportunities come to us, is if you are consistent. You have to show up consistently every single day, talking about it and living in it and showing people, like yesterday's post, y'all. Okay. Again, I'm not saying that I am of all knowing. I just know that if I say I'm the expert, I have to show you. I was at volunteering, right? And when I was volunteering, it was the clothes and so forth. So you're going to see a post coming out here shortly about how I put an outfit together in less than 5 minutes while I was in there and what that outfit looked like. Because if I say I'm an image consultant, all right, I have to show you that I know what I'm doing. All right. And that is through how I show up from head to toe. So we have to be the authority and the most obvious choice. But it is consistent. You have to show up consistently. Okay. So then there's a law of personality. What is your personality like? Your brand must be built around your personality in all aspects, including your flaws. In all aspects. Yeah, I'm known as a hot mess. Okay. I can be on the struggle bus a lot. I don't know what I don't know. I can come off a little bit abrasive. Some people say I'm intimidating. Um, and I'm not organized, as you can see, not as well as I would like. But these are all the flaws, right? Um, and they're not really flaws. It's just part of my personality. It's just who I am. I am not perfect. And so we have to be asking ourselves, what would be the best personality brand for you to have? All right. What would be a good way for you or for people to describe you? That's what we're talking about today. Okay. So, again, what would be the best personality brand for you to have? Are you the person that likes to be behind the scenes, or you like to be out in the front? Are you more open and approachable, or are you a little bit more reserved? Um, are you a type of person who smiles a lot and is very charismatic? Or are you kind of like a stilled face and you're kind of like, not quite certain how to take people? You have to know what your personality is. Mine is big. I have a big personality. I get a little dramatic every now and again about things. Ask my husband. But I go big. Okay? I don't think small. I think like what would my personality be most fitting for? My personality be most fitting for like a talk show, like on TV. I think I can hold my own. And that's kind of the direction that I'm moving in. I'm like, I could see myself as not Oprah. I don't want to be anybody but me, but bringing in people, talking about fashion, talking about health and wellness, like I have a big dream to do that. And, you know, I sit sometimes with my thoughts and I think about, okay, what clothes should I be having for that interview? What materials should I be studying? What other courses or certifications can I go in? It's a thing, but you have to know your personality. Then there's a law of distinctiveness. The law of distinctiveness. You have to express your personal brand in a unique way once you have created it. You have to express your personal brand in a unique way once you have created it. Are you doing that? Okay. Or is it the plain or it's the same as somebody else? When I created Slay to Success, I knew right away, because based on my experience in the military, that people are going to be like, huh, what are we talking about here? And it's my way, all right, of expressing, leadership. Like, I could talk about leadership all day, y'all. All right. But how do I get it to where people are like, man, that's so different? That, like, I have never seen that before. And that's kind of how I think. I'm like, I'm different in so many different ways, and I'm distinctive, very distinctive. When people see me on social media and they hear Slay, a lot of times people will text me and say, I thought of you right away. Like, there will be messages on whatever. All right. I've gotten license plates where somebody has had Slay on their license plate. I've gotten pictures of packages of in the store where they have like Slay on it. I've gotten videos of people talking about Slay. Yes, they hear the word and they're hearing what that product or that service or that person, but they're like, the only person that we know that's really talking about the Slay like that is Rochelle. And those are the people that know me. You know what I mean? So we have to be very distinctive in a place. So ask yourself, how can I be distinctive and stand out from all my other competitors? How can you do that? Can you create a slogan? Can you create an aura about yourself? Can you create a different angle? All right. You don't have to just stay with the same things that everyone else is doing. Take your personality, take what your experiences have been, and use that towards your advantage. Then there's the law of utility. The law of utility. Your behavior behind closed doors must match your public brand. Again, your behavior behind closed doors must match your public brand. All right. And he goes on to say it's completely destroying a person's brand to find out that he or she is mean to people in private. The greatest brand claims you can get is that people say that you're always the same on the outside as you are on the inside. All right. Um, because of my experience in the military, and particularly I was a first sergeant for 4 years. And so a first sergeant, y'all, 4 years of that is particularly like going in. Sometimes I would go into people's homes. I would meet with their spouses. If one of them was in the military, I would meet their spouses outside. The, the way that they would tell me the story would be so much different when I would meet them in person. It would be like, these things don't match up. I don't even understand what we're talking about. Like, you see somebody and you're like, oh my goodness, they're straight up. They got everything going. They put together and stuff like that. And then when you see them outside of their element, you're like, oh, wait a minute. It's not even right. So you have to be able, all right, to make sure that your brand is matching. All right. If you are a mean person inside, okay, your home, and then you all nice when you go outside and meet people, things that you think are not going to be found out, they're going to be found out. So making sure that they are matching. All right. Do you act negatively when no one is watching? All right. I know that that's not the kind of brand that I want to have. So then there's the law of persistence. The law of persistence. You got to give your personal brand time to grow. Okay. This right here is it. You have to give your personal brand time to grow. When you start out, not too many people are going to be like, yeah, we on board, especially if it's different. I understand this. My personal brand really started growing over the past year. Yes, it was created some time ago, but it's really starting to get the traction. All right. So you got to give it time. So you got to stick with your brand. You got to ignore these fads, ignore these trends and these changes, and you got to be consistent at all times. What is your message? What are you putting out there? All right. Is it changing every month or so? Now, I get it. We got to pivot, especially as entrepreneurs, when we don't see, people coming to us, or we're not exactly getting to the goals that we have written down for ourselves or for our business. But that consistency over time, all right, is so important. So, what are the key points that you need to always stay consistent, even during your bad days? What are those points to even when you're having a bad day? So, you have to have persistence. All right. Don't give up so easily. Give it time to nurture. I talk about planting seeds. Okay. Yeah, I have so much to talk about today. It's not even funny. I know we're at 42 minutes, but guess what? We're going to go until, till we get done with these laws. Planting seeds. There's a season to be planting seeds. You may not see them grow or anything for a minute. I know that I have talked to my accountability partner, which is Chevy, many a times about that. I'm like, no one is really catching on. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I feel like I am talking to the wall. All right. I see like myself, talking through. I go back and I check my analytics. I make sure that I am always bringing value and adding value. So, what is going on here? It takes a minute, y'all. So, stay on point. Don't give up easily. Know this is a slow burn. All right. Nothing worthwhile happens overnight. You just got to stay on track. Then you have to have the law of goodwill. The law of goodwill. The more you are perceived as well intentioned or embodying valued ideals, the more brand will have. Have a positive personal brand that people look up to and admire. I think I'm getting this right. I don't go in as this is a big profit making business. I want to have an impact, a tangible, positive impact, and making a difference in the communities that I am a part of. Period, point blank. So ask yourself, do I add more value to the people that I am in touch with my personal brand? Do I make their life better and do I improve it? All right. I get confirmation, validation that this is happening a lot because people will say, hey, thank you so much for answering my DM in LinkedIn. All right. I've had people who have been ignoring me. I'm so glad that you reached out to me. Thank you for being on a virtual connection call with me. All right. Have a positive personal brand that people can look up to and admire. All right. And then they have the law of visibility. All right. Says that your personal brand must be seen repeatedly and consistently in order to be effective. When you form a brand, and in a way, you're getting into show business. Okay. So I know that sometimes people are like, "Oh, I don't want to be in the limelight. I do not like to be in the spotlight. I don't like going on Facebook Lives. I don't like speaking in social media on any platform." But I'll tell you, when you're building a personal brand, it is like show business. If you're not out there talking to people, networking, and getting involved, it doesn't do you any good. I Networking for me is always an opportunity for me to showcase my personal brand. So I'm out here. Y'all have seen it. I'm across the DMV in many different ways, but that's what we have to do, because when we have a personal brand, we cannot be the best kept secret. All right. So we got to be out there when people can see us all the time. Very often, people will hire you from your visibility. They'll buy from you. They'll recommend you for no other reason, just because they have seen you around a lot. So this is happening, y'all. All right. I have been in conversations with several different um, people and organizations. All right. Because they see me and I am on top of mind. Every day I post in LinkedIn. Every day. I'm answering every day. I have emails coming into my inbox. I'm answering them. Every day I think about, how do I move the needle a little bit further? So you have to ask yourself, how can you increase your visibility locally or virtually? Locally here, I put on events. Like I said, I have one on Saturday morning. I'm part of the Greater Crofton Chamber of Commerce, part of the Business Women's Network of Howard County. And so I did that intentionally so I can put myself out there in the community. I'm on virtual meetups almost daily. I have 3 other virtual calls later today where I'm meeting new people, and I'm getting them to know what I do and how I can bring it. And you also have to ask, how can I be all over the place, but not desperately excessive? Okay. Desperate energy, people can feel that. I see when people have desperate energy, when they just want to just put anything out there, and it's it's not with thought, it's just out there. All right. So let's not come with this desperate energy, like they gotta buy from me, they gotta take whatever I say, whatever the case, however you're positioning your personal brand. All right. I think we got all through the laws. Oh, there's a law of specialization. So we have to focus our brand on one area of achievement. All right. We cannot be all things to everyone. This is why we say, and we always constantly hear, niche down. You can't be for everybody. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. All right. I am specifically helping and supporting women professionals who are aspiring to go into a leadership role, women professionals who are transitioning out of a career and going to the next career. That could be in corporate or a military woman. I'm also here for women who want to rebrand themselves in the next chapter. All right. I did that specifically because of the road that I have been on. And so we have to specialize in something, and choose to specialize either in your line of work, your product, your company, your industry, the media, your community, etc. But you have to be focused like a laser beam on one thing. And my one thing is to make sure that women professionals are in alignment with ABCDs. Okay. Appearance, behaviors, communication skills, and digital presence. Because I know these 4 areas have gotten me many opportunities. And it's just continuously on and on. I get community opportunities within opportunities. So those are the laws. So those are the 8 laws of branding by Brian Tracy. Okay. He says the law of specialization, the law of leadership, the law of personality, the law of distinctiveness, the law of visibility, the law of utility, the law of persistence, the law of goodwill. All right. Because the first thing people do is check your reputation based on your personal brand. So when you are, I always say 80 years old, all right, at your birthday party, what are the words that people are going to say about you? Okay. What are they going to remember you by? So it's really about picking a word. Okay. Pick one word if you want to be your leading attribute. And what would that word be? and what would they want to be recognizing you for? So a brand is a promise that you make. All right. My promise to everyone who's in earshot of me today is I promise that I will keep on slaying until I can't slay no more. I am a powerful trailblazer, all right, who's taking no ish. Okay. I am taking this next chapter. This next chapter is mine. All right. And so I am committed. I am determined. I have the resilience and the strength, the energy, the passion, the fiery energy, like the intense energy to be more and to do more for the people that are around me. And so that is, again, today's discussion. Thank you all for being here with me live. So I have Leslie, Dee, Terry, Chevy. Thank you all for being here live. Make sure that you are sharing this, okay, with other people. All my videos are on YouTube. So you can go back and you can listen to this again, or you can share this with somebody else who is struggling with their personal brand. You can have them reach out to me. I've got various programs that I'm offering to help them to enhance their personal brand and to gain those lucrative opportunities that they're looking for and that are there for them. Okay. And so I encourage you all to stay safe. All right. Stay healthy. All right. Make sure we are still moving in the direction of making sure we're showing up in the best versions of ourselves. And I will see you all on Sunday. I have a guest on the Slay to Success talk show. So I will see you then. So have a nice day, everyone. Stay cool. And thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you all.